Shanghai qualifiers are all wrapped up. Let me take you through them. In Southeast Asia, Mineski took the first Open qualifier, beating Extremist 2-1. Extremist won the second SEA qualifier 2-0. In China, CDEC Avenger beat eHome King 2-0 in the first qualifier, with Tongfu winning 2-0 against Duo Bao in the second. Moving over into the Europe region, Mama's Boys took the first qualifier in the EU region 2-1 against Kaipi. Kaipi were knocked out in quarterfinals of round 2, with London Conspiracy taking the qualifier 2-1 against Power Rangers. In the Americas, Elite Wolves were dropped from the main roster, with Not Today as their replacement, due to a recent roster change. In the first round, IX Mike's Team Freedom beat E-Wolves 2-0 for the first slot into the America main qualifiers. Elite Wolves qualified in round 2 with a 2-1 series against Infamous, who we previously knew as Team Unknown. So the Open teams moved into the main qualifiers, where teams were split into 2 groups of 5, with each team playing every other team within their group in 2-game series. Wins were all worth 1 point. The top 2 from each group moved on to a double elimination bracket, where first and second place qualified for the Shanghai Major. In Southeast Asia, First Departure, Terang, and Fnatic moved on from the groups. Mineski and MVP Phoenix played a best-of-1 tiebreaker to determine who would continue, with MVP taking the game and continuing forward. Fnatic 2-0'd MVP Phoenix in the finals for the first slot. MVP went 2-0 against First Departure in the lower bracket to take the second spot at Shanghai from the Southeast Asia qualifiers. The China qualifier saw LGD take an easy 2-0 off IG Vitality to take first in the qualifiers. IG Vitality dropped into the lower bracket from there to take on Newbie. However, Newbie beat the team 2-0 to knock out IG Vitality and move on to qualify for Shanghai. In Europe, there was little surprise as Team Liquid won all but one of their games in the group stage. Their one loss was an impressive display of high ground defense and comeback from London Conspiracy. They blew through the bracket to take first in the EU qualifiers. Team Empire was slightly favored to win the second spot, but they lost 2-0 up against Team Spirit, again falling just short of qualifying for a major. In the NA qualifiers, we saw much more even ground. Cole, DC, and Archon all had similar strong performances, with Shazam squeezing out of the group stages. Archon beat both favorites Complexity and then DC in a surprise run for first place in the America qualifiers. DC experienced flashbacks to their Frankfurt qualifiers run as they headed in as favorites but fell just short of qualifying, losing 2-1 to Complexity in the lower bracket finals. So with the qualifiers all wrapped up, we have our 16 teams for Shanghai. China will be represented by eHome, CDEC, Vici, LGD, and Newbie. Southeast Asia will send MVP Phoenix and Mineski. The European teams are OG, Secret, VP, Alliance, Liquid, and Team Spirit. And lastly, the Americas are represented by EG, Team Archon, and Complexity. Thanks for watching this episode of Too Long Didn't Read Dota News. We'll see you guys soon for a Star Ladder wrap-up.